Okay. Hi guys. I'm just waiting for a couple more people to pop on here. I was making sure I had the correct link that I posted. 1 second. And I'm just going to, and then I think Jennifer, you have the host control. So if you want to mute people, yeah, it looks like you already did that. Okay, awesome. And I know I'm wanting these little trainings to be really small. So I'm kind of glad that there's not like a whole bunch of people on this so that you guys can ask questions. So we did mute you, but if at any point you want to unmute yourself and ask a question, that is totally fine. If you are more comfortable typing the question, then use the chat feature and I'll see it and I can answer your question. But I really, really want this to be something that helps you guys. And so if you have specific questions, please ask them. There's no question that's wrong or too basic or too complex. So please, please, please ask questions if you have them, okay? All right, so no notes here. So I think that gave everyone hopefully enough time to hop on. I know this is being recorded, so everyone else can watch the recording. Okay, so I know some of you guys are brand new. Some of you may not be as new, but I don't want to go over things that are really easy for you to get elsewhere. So I just want to briefly go over a couple of these things that, please mute yourself if you have stuff in the background. So a couple things that you need to know. You have to know these things through and through for your business, but I'm not going to go over them because there are other places that you can easily get this information, okay? So the loyal customer program, first and foremost, you need to know what a loyal customer is, how they sign up on your website, the different ways they can become a loyal customer, different ways, and then all the perks of being a loyal customer. So in order to sell the products, you have to know what a loyal customer program is. As soon as the eSuite training is back up, they do a good job training in that. I also have a little video that I've done on the loyal customer program. So if any of you would like that, if it's not in your Upline's training pages, which I'm sure it is, just let me know. But just make sure you understand what that is. Okay, and the next one is Product Coach. That is it's www.myitworksproductcoach.com. I've been finding a lot of newer distributors have no idea what this website is, and it's absolutely crucial to your business. So check that out. I'm not going to go into it in too much detail, but basically, if you ever have a question on any of the products, that is going to be your Bible. So any hard questions or just descriptions of the products, you need to go to Product Coach. It's a good place to just train yourself on the products if you have extra time as well. And then finally, anything that you ever want to know that you are struggling with, this is how I taught myself, is by looking up things on YouTube. And I know that kind of sounds funny, but that's how I taught myself how to do social media, how to do parties. There are hundreds and hundreds of videos from It Works distributors on things like parties and how to do social media, and also other businesses. So just how to grow your business on social media. Okay, so she says she can't hear me. Can anyone else hear me? Okay. You might just need to turn your volume up. Sorry. hopefully you can figure that out. So, okay, so those three things you kind of just need to be aware of, and make sure that you have a good understanding of those, okay? So before we get into kind of the meat of this, I know some of you know who I am and you've heard my story before, but for those of you who haven't, I kind of wanted to introduce myself and just tell you a little bit about myself so that this gives a little bit of legitimacy to what I'm saying, what I'm going to tell you to do every day for your business, okay? So my name's Ingrid Campbell. I am an Ambassador Diamond with this company, so that's the just about the highest level in the company. And I started 4 years ago. I was a full-time biologist. I was getting my master's degree and had a toddler at the time, so I was super busy when I started this business. So I just wanted to say that because I know a lot of you are very busy and trying to make this business work, and I just want to tell you it is very possible too. And I'm going to go into that and tell you how. I just worked on getting the steps to success, and those are 4 loyal customers, and we talked about that as something you need to know what a loyal customer is and how they sign up. So you get 4 loyal customers a month and 3 distributors to join your team, okay? And that is what you're going to be working on every single month. And at first that was very, very hard for me. I barely got 2 customers my first month. It took me a couple months to get a distributor. And so I'm just saying, if you are in that situation right now, that is very okay. Everything takes time to learn and understand. And practice, right? Practice makes perfect. So you can't jump into a brand new business thinking you're going to be an expert at it, right? If you're getting a lot more than that, that is wonderful, okay? But also just know that you're on the right track if you're just in the learning phase and starting to understand how to accomplish those steps to success every month. But I did this very slowly and got to Ruby within 6 months. And at a year, I got to Diamond. It actually, just 3 months over a year, I got all the way to Triple Diamond, which is $10,000 a month income. And then it took me exactly 2 years to get to Ambassador, which averages $30,000 a month. So with just those steps to success, you don't have to do, 100 customers a month. You really can get all the way to the top of this company. And I want to say that just because I want you guys to know from someone that didn't think that this was going to be a very good business for them or not very good at it, it is very, very possible to become very successful with this business if you take it seriously. And so now I'm going to tell you exactly what I do and what I've done to build my business, so that if you wanted to be like a little fly on the shoulder of someone that has been successful and you are really curious on what they do, I'm going to tell you exactly what I do. It's very replicatable. I don't have to spend money. I don't have to do a bunch of fancy stuff. I just have to do these really basic things, and I just do them over and over and over again. And that is really all it takes. You don't have to overthink this. Super, super easy. Again, for all of you that jumped on, please ask questions if you want to. You can type them in the chat, or you can even unmute yourself and ask a question. Okay, so how do we do this business, right? The very first step, before I get into how to gather customers and distributors, you need to understand how to be commission qualified each month. That's really important because that is how we get paid. So each month, to be commission qualified, you need either an auto ship of 80 BV or more. So in your eSuite, you have to click auto ship, not order. You have to put your order under auto ship. You have to set that up by the 24th of each month. You can't set it up later than that. So either an 80 BV auto ship, each product has a BV value and it says next to the product, or 150 BV in sales. And that is a combination of your customers and your own orders. So make sure you're accomplishing that every month. What I do is I set up my auto ship at the beginning of the month to run like on the 25th, and then I work on getting that 150 in sales. So I kind of do both. So make sure you're commission qualified, and the next thing for those of you who are still in their first month, make sure you get bonus qualified. And you can do this at any time. You need to try and do it as soon as you can right after you start. Bonus qualified means you need 4 loyal customers. And they all need to be at different addresses. They can't share an address with another distributor. So they can't share your address. It's really important, and it does go by the shipping address, not the billing address. And that is just because they don't want people signing up, their dogs and their cats as customers just to get bonus qualified. So you needs to be a real customer that lives at an address other than you, to be and get bonus qualified. So get those 4 customers as soon as you can, and now you are qualified for the $10,000 bonus if you start this month. And congratulations for starting by the end of May, because you are now qualified for that bonus, or you're eligible, and everyone that starts next month will not be eligible for that. So so that's a really good bonus you can go for. So get those 4 customers. The next thing is how to get customers and distributors, right? There's 2 main ways of getting, sorry, I keep getting notifications pop up on my phone. So there's 2 main ways of building your business, and that is on social media, or what I call face-to-face parties, okay? And so I'm gonna go into social media first, and you don't have to do, if you like one over the other, just stick with that. It can be completely built on social media, it can be completely built with parties, or it can be built with a combination of both, okay? So do what you're comfortable with, okay? So I built my business on social media, and I have done parties and events. So I'm going to do the parties last. I'm going to start with social media first. The number 1 thing you need to do on social media is grow your audience. I can't say this enough. If you are advertising to the same people over and over and over again, and expecting different results, you're not going to get them. So you may, get a customer here or 2 that's just seen your ads for a year, and they may want to order. But if you really want to start growing your business, you have to reach outside of the people you know, okay? So grow your followers. So on Facebook, that means adding new friends. So Facebook has a suggested friend tool that it'll just give you suggestions, and you can just friend all of the women, for instance. That's my audience that I like to work with, is women, especially other moms. So that's kind of usually who I like to friend. I also like to friend local women and moms, so that if they are interested in the product or the opportunity, I can meet with them potentially. And so I use, local moms groups or local yard sale groups, and people that post in those. I like, what they post, and I friend them. That's a super easy way to gain new friends that are local to you, okay? But you can do it anyway. You can build your business worldwide in the countries that we're open in. So however you want to do it. And okay, so grow your friends on Facebook. On Instagram, if you're using Instagram, you basically follow. So I'll take one of my friends and I'll look at their followers, and I'll follow as many of their followers as I can. And again, I try and just look at the picture and do women, my age, and go like that. And so the more people you follow, the more people will follow you back and then see your posts. And that's basically how you grow your social media accounts. And that can be used for any other ones too, like Twitter or Pinterest. It's the same idea. But just pick, 1 or 2 that you really like, and you need to do those to the fullest. You need to be posting on those and following people. And if you still have time, maybe add another one in there. But you really need to kind of give each social media outlet 100%. You can't just follow once a week and post once a week. It's not going to work. So social media is really all about consistency and branding yourself. So it needs to be done every single day, multiple times a day, okay? So number 1, add followers, okay? And if you want ideas on how to do that more than what I've just gone over, because I just kind of brushed on the surface, YouTube, look at YouTube. Search, how do I grow my Instagram on, or how do I grow my followers on Instagram? How do I get more friends on Facebook? YouTube it. There's hundreds of ideas, okay? So those are always fun to watch. So after followers, the second most important thing you can do is post about your products. And it's really funny. It seems really obvious, but a lot of people won't follow these 3 post types that I do every single day. The first type of post that you need to do is about our products. And this can be anything from posting a before and after picture, which It Works has a Pinterest feed of hundreds of before and after pictures that you can use, to you holding a product saying, I can't wait to use this, or like, this is one of my favorite products, to even, if you haven't tried any of them, post a picture of the product, which you can find pictures if you search on Facebook for that product. So if you search wraps in the Facebook search bar, or cleanse or greens, you can get a lot of really nice photos, or you can even Google search them. Or there's photos on the It Works Global feed. So just post a photo and say, I can't wait to try the hair, skin, nails. I'm really looking forward to it. Here's what it does. And you can get that information from Product Coach, okay? That website that I talked to at the beginning. So it can be anything between those two, or just, you'll also see like a 90-day hair, skin, nails challenge, or 90-day mermaid challenge, or 90-day weight loss challenge. And that's just using our loyal customer program to your benefit to kind of create some excitement. So you know all about our loyal customer program, you will understand those ads that you see other distributors doing about a 90-day challenge or a product tester challenge, and they get a discount. Okay, that is just variations of the loyal customer program. So you can kind of think outside the box there and come up with those. But again, searching on Facebook is a wonderful way to get ideas of how to post about products. And so again, you can just search for whatever product you're looking for, and see what other distributors, how they write about it. I don't want you to copy and paste. I mean, you can copy and paste and then change the wording as much as you can, something that sounds like you said it. And also, the more unique your post is, the more Facebook likes it. So the more they will show it to your friends. So make sure you're doing something that's really genuine to you and unique, okay? But to get ideas on how people advertise, that's a really good place to go. Okay, the next type of post that you need to do is the opportunity. Become a distributor. Okay, a lot of people that are on your friends list, they're seeing you post about the products, and they probably understand that this is a network marketing company, so they can become a distributor too. But they may not want to step on your toes. Okay, they don't know that you want them to join your team and that you are there to help them. So make sure they know that they are aware that you want them to be on your team, that you want to help them. That's something that a lot of people, until they are directly asked, like they could be, I've had people follow me for a year and they know what I do, they know the products I sell, they know that I'm recruiting people, and then the minute I directly message them and say, I think you'd be so amazing at this business, I really want you on my team, they're like, oh, that's great. That sounds like a great idea. And then they sign up, okay? So just make sure that you are super direct, that you want people to join your team, that you're there to help them, that you just want to have fun with them with this business, okay? So opportunity posts can be anything from, hey, are there any moms, any of my Facebook friends that want to work from home with their kids? Just like something as simple as that, like one little sentence, to a story. So it can be your story with It Works. And if you're brand new, it's going to be, this is why I joined the company. This is what I'm going to do in 3 months. This is what my goals are in 6 months. I'm so excited to get these bonuses. I can't wait for you to join me. Okay? And that can be a little bit longer, in-depth story, but it needs, the very first sentence, I always put something that really grabs them. Hey, do you know why I started my work at home business? Or hey, have you ever been curious about how to work from home? And then you go into your longer post. So it can be either of those, or kind of mix it up a little bit. You can say, you can just talk about a bonus. I'm so excited to go for this $10,000 bonus. This is what I'm going to do with it. Are you ready to get this too? Anything like that. You need to be talking about the opportunity. Maybe a picture of you and your kids if you want to be a stay-at-home mom. It can be a picture of you and your cats. If you want to be a stay at home with your cats, I don't care. You don't have to be a mom. It can be, I'm going to take this trip to Africa and do all this charity work with, it can be whatever you want it to be. But if you haven't, if you're just starting, say what your goals are and what you're going to do with it. And that's going to intrigue people and kind of show them how you are incorporating this into your life, especially if you are working. They're going to see, oh, she's working and doing this as well. I have a job, I can fit this into my life as a working mom or, full-time, whatever. Okay. So just don't think that you have to be super successful to relate to people. They're actually going to relate to you right when you're starting out. So just keep that in mind. And then third, if you really do want to show people how, like success stories, you can spotlight people on your team, like your uplines. You can tell them their stories. Like, this girl is why I started. This is her story, and I can't wait to, be where she's at. That's what I'm working on. So you can spotlight people, but I think the majority of the time needs to be just about you, why you started, and where you're going. Okay. That's what people really relate to. And then, so those, okay, that's two types of posts. Ooh, is that my phone? Someone needs to mute themselves. There's really bad feedback. Okay, so that's gone. Okay, and then the third type of post, so those two you need to be doing every single day. The third type is an interaction post. And that is any post, does not have to be related to the business. Actually, it's better if it's not related to the business because you don't want just distributors to comment on it. You want your audience that's not distributors and not customers yet to comment or like it. So an interaction post is something that gets a ton of likes, comments, or shares. And that is because you're basically boosting your Facebook algorithm. And I know this sounds confusing, but the more these people, your target audience, likes, comments, or shares on your posts, the more they're going to see your subsequent posts, so the posts you do after that. So an interaction post can be, I just ask questions. Like, if one of my little kids is sick, I'll say, hey, does anyone have any natural remedies for an ear infection or for, a cough? Or have you ever, who has recommendations on a stroller? Just anything I'm curious about, I always ask it on Facebook so that I get a lot of people liking or commenting. Netflix shows, what are you having for dinner? Post where you are right now, or post, a picture in the comments. Anything that's going to get people to comment, just directly ask them. It can also be funny memes that people are going to love and they're going to like it and they're going to share it, or a funny video that you see. Anything that gets your interaction up, okay? And then, so those are the three types of posts that I try to do every single day. The other thing that helps that interaction or the algorithm on Facebook is you go to your potential customers, your potential distributors, and like and comment on their posts. Okay, the more you do that, the more you interact with them, the more they're going to interact with you, and the more that they're going to see your posts. Okay, so those are the two top things. Followers every single day, as many times a day as you can. I want you guys to grow your Facebook by 20 people per day if you can. Then posts. The three types of posts are product, opportunity, and interaction posts. And if you need ideas for interaction posts, just Google it. Google Facebook interaction posts. There are tons of ideas. And then, okay, so those are the three types of posts. Then the last thing you need to do is work your hundreds list. And if you don't know what a hundreds list is, there is a list in your eSuite document library. It's called a hundreds list, and there's also something called a memory jogger. So use those two things, and this is going to be people that you're going to contact about your business. Your hundreds list needs to be very direct. On the phone would be great. Sending a voice memo through text would be great. A text, I'm doing this in order of how important it is. So you can get face-to-face, great, on the phone, voice memo, text, or a Facebook message, but it needs to be some sort of direct message. I think you should have a hundreds list for distributors, and these are going to be people that you just really think would be awesome at this business and you want them on your team. And you pretty much just say just that. I think I'm having a lot of fun with this business. I think it would be a lot of fun to do this with you. Do you want to try it for 6 months and see where we both get with it? And just kind of just ask them directly, okay? Um, and asking them directly to become a distributor is a lot easier than asking for the product. The product's a little different, and instead of directly recommending something for them, something you can reach out to them and say, hey, I just started these products, I really love them, they're plant-based, here's what I like about them, here's my favorite products, and I just was wondering if you wanted any more information about any of them. Okay, so that's more like a little indirect, like they can kind of pick or ask you questions about them. Okay, so that's your hundreds list for social media. Okay, then I'm going to go into parties. If you guys have any questions, please type them. And I know Jennifer's going to ask us some questions at the end of this. So if you don't like social media, that is totally okay. If your personality is that you are wonderful in front of a crowd, you can talk in front of people, you're really energetic and outgoing, and you love meeting people face to face, then you need to do that, okay? So parties is how you're going to do your business. If you don't know anyone to host a party, that's fine. What you're going to be doing is booking events, blitzing. Blitzing is going to be key to getting parties booked outside of your friends and family, okay? So it's super important that you are blitzing every day. So while the people are here over on social media gaining followers and posting about their business, you are going to be blitzing about your business. There are so many great resources on YouTube about blitzing. So look that up. It Works Blitzing, how to blitz. There's some really, really good videos on that, and it needs to be something that you're incorporating into your life. When you go to the grocery store, you're blitzing the cashier. You're blitzing everyone you see in the store. Every person you come into contact is getting a blitz card as your business card, okay? So the more of those you can hand out, the better. And that's how you're going to book parties. And a party can be anything from a one-on-one consultation with someone, because they may not want to book a party, they may not know a lot of people, but you can meet with them and talk about the products, to a huge event with 50 people. But don't be scared either way. If only a couple people show up, that's wonderful. You have their full attention, they're not distracted. If tons of people show up, wonderful. Good luck by getting all of them wrapped and answering all their questions. In that case, you really need to hold their attention using the party pad. And that is another thing that's in your document library in eSuite. Okay, so events that you can book are bridal shows. There's a lot of vendors, like I'm on a Facebook vendors group, that you can search it for any events coming up. So like they'll have boutiques that they'll have vendors at, and you can book tables at those events. Those are really, really good, and there's a lot of training again on YouTube on how to do events. But one of my biggest tips is, if you do have a table, put a little giveaway basket, and it can just be a wrap, a sample of greens, it doesn't matter. People love entering contests. And have like a little form that they can fill out with their name and email and phone number. And then every single person that comes by, you say, hey, do you want to enter my giveaway for this basket? And that is how you get people to come to your booth. And then now you have a whole basket full of contacts that you are now going to use MailChimp to email them, or you can text them individually on any specials or deals we have, or you can just say, hey, I have a special going on for booking a party. You'll get a free wrap if you host a party for me. Are you interested? So there's lots of things you can do with those contacts. That contact list you get from those events is really can really be useful if you follow up with it and work that list. Okay. And then all the people that do, I call every single one of them, not just the winner of the basket, and I say, sorry, you didn't win the drawing, but I'm doing a special for our loyal customer program for all our products, or you can get a free wrap if you host a party. So whatever you want to say, that's how you follow up with those initially, and then you keep using that list in the future for any deals that we're running. Okay, something that's super important, if you guys aren't doing social media, if you're not doing all of those things that I said, you need to be blitzing and booking parties. It needs to be a party a week, okay? So you're calling your friends and family saying, hey, do you know anyone that likes hosting parties? Do you want to host a party? Can you just invite a few friends to my house if you don't want to do it at your house? Those need to be happening as much as you can, and you need to get referrals from the guests of the parties. So you need to kind of pick which one you want to do, and you need to do it to its full extent, okay? And also you can be using social media by showing people pictures of your parties, pictures of you at a coffee shop meeting with someone, pictures of you just working your business, like any way of blitzing, whatever you're doing, you can advertise how you are doing it on social media so you get even more intrigue, okay? Okay, so those are some of the things I wanted to go through. I know I went through it kind of fast. I hope some of those were useful, but again, every single thing I just went over, I have not done anything different than those things, okay? And mine is probably almost 100% on social media. I've done a couple events, a couple of parties, but what I just outlined on social media, that is exactly what I do. So with that said, does anyone have any questions? I know, Jen, you have a couple that you want to ask, but if any of you guys have questions you want to type in, that would be awesome. If you just want to type them or unmute yourself and ask them, now is your chance for me to go into anything more. Go for it.
Well, I have a few that I'd like to pick your brain on for like all of our new distributors. And again, we are recording it because I had several who couldn't get on this like at this time. So one thing that I always try to stress, and maybe you or Rachel or both of you could maybe, kind of go over is I always say that this business favors speed. You don't have to promote fast, but you got to start working. Can you explain to us the importance of not even necessarily waiting on your kit just when you get it, or maybe, there's probably people who are watching this who are just at a distributor level who've maybe been in the business for a couple of months and just haven't done anything with it. Can you explain to us now, like on the top end of the, promotion scale, can you explain to us the importance of just getting started and running with it?
Yeah, for sure. And that's a really good point. And you know how when I was telling my story before, I kind of, I went pretty slow when I was starting. I barely got my first 2 customers. I want to say that because I don't want you guys to get discouraged if you are starting slow. But on the other hand, guess what happened a year after I started, and then all of a sudden I went diamond, double diamond, triple diamond, back to back. The difference was that I finally figured out for myself that this business was going to be something that is working for people, and that they're making money, and that I can make money at this. So the sooner you realize that this is really only the only difference between someone that fails at this business and someone that succeeds is that they consistently worked at it. They never let up. They jumped into this business, whether they jumped in day one or they jumped in a year from when they started, like me. So the quicker you jump into this business, the quicker it's going to work for you, okay? The only people that fail are the people that don't give it a shot. They don't try. They're not consistent. And I promise you, that is the difference. And yes, this business absolutely loves speed. So the quicker you can kind of get yourself on that consistency and that speed of bringing in customers and distributors, the quicker you're going to make it to the higher levels. And it has to happen either right off the bat, or give yourself, if you need to kind of absorb all this information, great, but at some point you need to flip that switch in your head and you need to give this business 100%. And that's fine if you have a full-time job. It needs to get 100% that you know where you're going with it. If it's, to make $500 a month, great. You need to flip on that switch to get to that level as fast as you can. And the more energy you have, the more excitement you have, the more people are going to want to join your business. So find something that you really love about it and just do it. Find something that you love so much that it's all you think about. It's what you love about it. If the money part, you just love making more money each month, that's what you love about it, that's what drives you, that competitiveness, wonderful. If it's helping people lose weight, wonderful. If it's helping people get out of debt, wonderful. You need to find what really excites you about the business so that it kind of rubs off on other people. That's kind of really the trick. And yes, it absolutely, the faster you can go with this, the better. So if you are having a slow start, change it so that you have a fast start. And the only way you can change it is by more consistently growing your followers on social media and posting more, or blitzing more and booking more parties. So just think about that and make those things your goals. Okay. And the customers and distributors will follow. So I hope that kind of answers that question for you.
I love that. Thank you. Another question, or another thing I guess I wanted to try to pick your brain on was, a lot of times new distributors come to us and they will say, like, they join and they're super excited and they're ready to just make $1 bazillion that month. And then they'll come back to us 2 weeks later, super discouraged and wanting to quit. And they'll say, I don't have anybody who wants to buy from me. Like, I don't have it. I can't think of anybody who can join my team. And everybody I'm talking to is saying no. So as a new distributor, what is your best advice to kind of like get over that discouragement? And I mean, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say grow your network, but how to do that, how to get past that discouragement, and how to not let that defeat you. Because a lot of times we associate the word no with failure. And
Right.
So if we get any immediate no's in this business, if it's from a mom or a sister or whatever, it's really easy to think, okay, I'm not meant for this, I'm quitting, or, I'm just not going to do anything with it. So can you help us to maybe kind of understand, how to get past that, and how, we all kind of hear no's, and, how to
Right.
work.
So, okay, I thought of like 7 different things I could say to this. So hopefully I can remember them all. So the first thing that came to mind was, your first month's paycheck is going to be like $25, right? It's like, oh my gosh, how are we ever going to make money with this? First of all, what you need to know is you don't need 100,000 customers a month. Again, you need those 4 customers a month and 3 distributors, because what's going to happen is, yes, your first couple paychecks are going to be small, but then your team's going to be doing what you're doing, and their team's going to be doing what they're doing, and so on. And your business is going to start growing exponentially. So doing the exact same amount of customers every single month over time, that is how you get all the way up to what the Duns are, Black Diamond, $100,000 a month. Okay? There's really no difference. It's the time and consistency and staying consistent. So you can make a lot of money with doing just a little bit over and over and over and over again. Okay. The second thing is about the no's, about hearing no. And this business is really a ton about mindset and how you look at things. If you get discouraged with one no, I promise that's not going to work. You need to understand that, okay, here's how I look at it. 9 out of 10 people are going to say no, or they're going to enter the witness protection program, is what I say. They're never going to respond to me. Even after they ask me about the product, I give them information, and it's just crickets. They go away. 9 out of 10 are going to do that. The 1 out of 10 that orders took me the 9 out of 10 that said no or didn't respond. Okay, I'm not going to find that one unless I talk to those 9. So it's just kind of a necessary thing. I'm like, oh, got another no, that's fine. Like it doesn't even faze me a little bit. I don't get discouraged. I know that it's a necessary part of my business. And a lot of those no's I keep following up with, and they end up ordering in the future. So what I'm doing is just growing my contact list. That is my win. I have another person that has expressed interest in a product or the opportunity. That's another person I have to follow up with. And I want that list to get into the thousands, okay, into the tens of thousands, so that when we have a deal, a buy one get one free deal, I'm contacting 1,000 people about this buy one get one free deal, because it's everyone I've ever talked to. That is the list you are growing. And so no's should be completely inconsequential. You should not get emotional about them. It is your path to a yes, okay? It's one more no behind you. You're that much closer to a yes and to an order. So that's how you have to look at it. And, I will go an entire month or maybe a couple months with no one ordering sometimes. But you know what I'm doing every single day during those months? Growing my business like crazy, because you know what happens the month after this little dry spell? I get so much business, I can't even keep up with it. So many people are contacting me. I'm getting customers like crazy. And that was because I stayed consistent through that little, I don't know where to find customers. I stayed consistent growing my business. And that growth doesn't happen until, after that work was put in. And so when most people are quitting because they're getting discouraged after a day of posting, I'm posting for a month with no customers, and then all of a sudden I have 20 customers. Does that make sense? So that consistency is so important, because you'll have ups and downs, and it can be a day of down, it could be a week, or maybe a month or two. And you need to be absolutely consistent, and that is how this business works. That's how you account for the bad months, is by having these awesome months. So hopefully that answered everything I think that I wanted to say.
No, that was perfect. And those were my questions. I mean, you covered everything else. So those were my two
Okay, awesome. Does anyone else have any questions? You guys, this is your chance to ask me anything. I don't care what it is. Do you have any questions on, because I kind of briefly went over everything that you need to be doing with your business. Does anyone want to type them or unmute themselves? Otherwise, we're probably going to end it unless I can think of anything else that I forgot. So I'm just going to give you a second to ask a question. And Rachel, is there anything you wanted to add that maybe I didn't go into enough? Or ask me or go into yourself?
No, I don't think so. I was listening the whole time as I was running around, and I think you guys, well, the questions that Jen had were really good. Those are always the issues that people have at the beginning, I think. I mean, it took me till the 28th and 29th day to sign my first loyal customers. And when I had some down months, the following month is when I signed my last runner. So, I mean, it's like you can't ever quit. Otherwise, you won't get the next enrollment. There's no way you can quit because you won't succeed that way, right? So it's easier said than done sometimes, but that's why we have our team. You always need to be plugging into Zooms like these. It really helps to keep you connected, which I know that can be a huge struggle for people who don't have a local team. So if you're connected with your team through Zooms or through your pages, or, I mean, I'm sure your leader would do one-on-one Zooms with you as well. It helps you stay pumped about the business, and that's what you need. You need to find your excitement in those times that you're kind of, maybe feeling those negative thoughts. Because if you're negative, then your business is going to become negative too. So I always say, get on a Zoom or wrap someone, find that excitement again, and then you'll boom. But that's
awesome.
That's
yeah,
all.
that's very true. And that reminded me of something. Talking to your upline and connecting with your team, because it's so important. I'm just going to end with this little story. I had this newer distributor start a couple weeks ago, she was a distributor of my distributor, and she kind of just didn't start. She maybe posted once and then kind of went MIA, and we couldn't message her. And so I just reached out to her and I said, what's holding you back? And she was just really worried about what people would think of her on social media. And so I came up with a very simple solution to that problem by creating Facebook lists in her Facebook. She started posting, and she got 4 customers in a day. So the moral of the story is, if there's something holding you back in your business, please contact your upline and explain exactly what it is, what you're afraid of, what's holding you back from starting, and I promise they will have a solution for you. The problem is, when you don't contact us, when you don't contact your upline, the person that enrolled you, we don't know what the problem is, and we don't know how to help you. So the more you can reach out for that kind of training and support, the better. So plugging in is super, super important. And so anyway, so I hope this was helpful. Please just understand how awesome of a business that you have, and it's going faster now than when I started. So if you think 2 years was short for me to get to Ambassador, you can probably do it a whole hell of a lot faster than I did. because our business is booming right now. It's more of a brand name than it was 4 years ago. So have excitement, get excited. And I really hope that you take your business seriously and listen to these tips and listen to your leaders and really do this business, because no matter what type of personality you are, what your background is, you really can be successful at this. And I hope you take that to heart and realize that. So, all right, so I'll let you guys go. And if you have any questions, just, send them to your upline and they can send them to me and I'll answer. Okay. So everyone have a good night.